Hello and welcome. This is your first time tuning into the channel. I am streaming this live to Twitch under the username Willcall and uploading the local recording to YouTube under the username Willcall100. Today we are playing Old World once again. I'm going to be playing Kush. So in here, single player, new game. I'm going to be doing Kush as Aminate. Most of the dynasties in here start off with fairly generic bonuses for most of the factions. So the main thing here is that we're doing Kush, and I've picked the Kush leader that starts with Diligent, which is this is also one that other leaders can get. So this isn't a leader-specific trait, much like PIE here has a leader-specific trait. So you can only get that on him. Diligent we can get on any leader, and it's just when an improvement is finished, if that person is leader, you get +2 years. So, pretty nice for an early game when you're trying to build out leader improvements. I'm going to try to be a bit more militarist this game. The other reason we're doing Kush is so we can get the Kushite pyramids here, which is +4 legitimacy per pyramid. You can build 1 pyramid per city. This spreads the pagan religion, so we're going to have the pagan religion pretty much everywhere. Because we're going to be chasing that legitimacy. Legitimacy is more orders. More orders allows us to move our troops around. Kushite also starts with, for their unique units, archers. So we're going to want line infantry from the tech tree. And then as we get more laws, we can bring in archers from our faction here. So with that, let's get into the rules. I'm basically going to be playing on strong. So we're going to go into the advanced setups here. I'm going to hit reset, which is going to put us back to just. I'm going to click on strong, and there are a couple things I am going to change. Main things I'm going to change is we're going to come down. Let's see if I can quickly find what I'm trying to change. Turn scale, I'm going to swap to seasons. That way our characters live just a little bit longer, so we can focus more on the economy and the war in the game and less on the characters. The other thing I'm going to change it to lengthy life spans for our characters. Again, to encourage our characters to hang around so we can focus more on the war and the economy and less on the characters. And that's all I'm going to change. Otherwise, it's basically default advanced settings on the strong. Keeping it nice and simple here today. Enjoy the music while you can, because you will notice that as we load into the game, the music will go away. Because this is a game which, from the actual game settings, by default, you're playing at people before the invention of music, before the invention of drama. So the game beginning has only the natural sounds of nature. So we are Kush in the old world. We found our capital. And apparently I've got some gold, silver, and gems for a capital start here, which are in... Oh, and some more. So we got a pretty interesting start here. If I didn't have anything particularly special, we'd probably go hunters for our start. We don't have one of the factions that specifically wants the precious materials. I think that was the patrons. We've got hunters, artisans, traders, and landowners. Probably don't want landowners in the capital here. Traders wouldn't be too bad. I don't think we have any nets. Mines and lumber mills, so our special resources here are all going to be mines, so we can make bonuses on those. Yeah, so we didn't have anything sort of driving me towards like artisans for mines and lumber mills or landowners for farms. I think we would have gone with hunters. Because we have a lot of things that come with mines here. We're going to go ahead and do the artisans as our first plop. And then I was talking about the music. The music will start up, as it says here, starts the music when we research drama. which is not the first thing we're going to go into. We are going to want to do aristocracy early so we can get access to pyramids. I am probably going to want a line troop upgrade, so we're going to want like steel or phalanx fairly early. Our nation's unique is archers, so we're going to want to run to forestry, even though we don't necessarily need archers from forestry. But because we want the lumber mills, because archers cost wood as upkeep. And then I think that's the early stuff we're running for, really. So based on that, we're being told, okay, we should either probably do woodworking or ironworking for warriors, polis for hamlets, probably pass on administration. And I think I will end up going ironworking here, so let's go ironworking. So in this case, I've actually started off with 2 workers. On the strong difficulty, we get given the idea for where 2 of our closest city sites are. So we got a little city down here, and a even smaller city up there. Okay. That one's up the river. This one's on the coast, I suspect. Okay. So which one of these minerals? Probably run over and grab the gold. Yeah, let's run to the gold. Get that mine going for money. Run over to the ore. Get that mine going for training and extra metal. That leaves me with 1 order, which I think I will use to start marching this person towards effectively the goody hut there that we can see. Going forward, as our workers complete things, we'll be getting 2 orders every time they finish something. So as long as we can get our worker from their current job to their next job within 2 orders, basically our workers are just going to cost us 1 order each. We are currently only getting 8. So let's end the season for the moment. I do have a slinger here that will probably want to have a warrior join up with them. Probably get like a posse of like 2 warriors and a slinger before we start going out and attacking neighbors, let's say. Oh, and technically, these guys are eating 1 order, so I'm actually making 10. 9 from thriving difficulty, plus 1.4 from legitimacy, and then we're spending 2 on the improvements. Yeah. Spend 1 order to move there, 1 order to pick you up. I can gain a worker if I get a slums, or I can gain a scout and some extra orders. I think we'll go with the scout here. Early enough that I don't necessarily want the slums. I definitely don't need a 3rd worker so early. I probably don't need the scout either, but we'll take what we can get. And then I want you to go there to harvest the marble. Move over there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have you move north. Get the scouts separated a bit. And I'm gonna have the slinger go occupy the city site, so then we don't have to worry about anyone else taking it from us. Okay, so that is probably the oh yeah, that's the ball on the map. Okay. So we will have to be a little bit careful with the city down here. Because we are on a difficulty high enough that raiders can come off the map edge. So just because it's a map edge is not meaning it's a safe place. You can righteous, divine, or superstitious. Blessed, inspired, or cursed. Just get XP. Or claim to divine right to rule. We become deceitful, but we get 2 legitimacy immediately. We'll go righteous, divine, or superstitious. Okay. There you go. low priority getting this person moved out to that city location, so we'll just be moving slowly. The game starts us with building a settler. With time, you've only become more and more convinced of those ancient etchings, showing your visage herald you as one of the divine. Okay. So we did pick up divine. Another sort of goodie hut. Hidden jewels. Our explorers discover a cache of jewels hidden deep in the abandoned ruins. The orders were to explore the land. Would you rather they exploit the discovery instead? Keep the jewels we can exploring, or the treasury would be grateful if we found more jewels. I'm willing to burn training for more money. Okay, so we found a barbarian. The next, developed to outpost level in 4 turns. Also going to produce a new unit, so we're going to have some raiders starting to form up over there. Which is kind of expected, so that's not a surprise. So the problem with going into this ore mine is that I am quite far away from the other mine down here. Do I actually... Oh, I start with hunting. Yeah, let's go for that then. Camp down. Okay. Stonemason tribe. Numidians contacted the embassy of the Numidians arrived with a goodwill offering of stone to show their desire peace. She tells us the Numidians specialize in mining and finishing stone, a lucrative trade. How shall we respond? This is no minor gift. I'll accept stone to maintain the truce. I don't need the legitimacy that bad. Okay, so we've got 2 sort of pass areas going north. Okay, so down here, we really only know about one special resource, which is the marble. Over here, we know about the olives, although I'm unable to gather the olives as of now. Leaning towards getting a specialist out here. Yeah, let's go for a specialist. Let's go ahead and get the... Oh, that's also a good question. Do I want to expand for the gems up there? Get a second thing of gems. Which then could expand to get the second thing of silver. Or just want more territory. We'll come back for the territory. Let's go with the ore. As soon as we get iron, so as soon as this miner is done and we have iron working, I'm gonna try to crank out 2 warriors. We've got a settler. So I know I have resources I can make use of immediately down there. I do not know about the case up here. Here is going to be probably much better when I'm doing lumber mills later. So yeah, I think we go that direction with settler. I'm going to pay the 2 to get you on the zone, so we don't have to worry about losing it. Okay, that's my use of orders for the turn. That is one thing I need to seek out is more orders as soon as I can. I want to be doing more things, and orders are the things that are limiting me from doing things. Unknown nation. Okay, so we've run into our first major. Carthage has been contacted. I can interact with them, get an opinion boost. It's only going to last for 40 turns. And get some culture. Or they get some culture. Or I can avoid them and just get some orders temporarily. Let's go with the avoid them option. And then we can get you set up in that city. So I've got the choice between grabbing another one of my existing artisans, which I think we're going to pass up on. Marbles, a quarry. We're going to mostly be doing quarries early on here because I do have a large demand for stone. And I don't have the ability to do the lumberjacks yet. So we're definitely going to pass on artisans. We're not going to do a repeat. If I had nets, I'd be more tempted to do the traders. I don't have any farming resources here. I do want to do one of the 3, I think, this time, because we're trying to go for a little bit more militant choice to go with the hunters. Suppose we technically had a camp up there. In fact, that one will probably have another camp at this rate of the way it's expanding. But we're going to go hunters here. And more stone. Yeah, definitely going to go quarries here. I think I want to open up with workers. With a worker. Yeah, let's open up with a worker. Because I want to get the quarries going. Nope, another goodie. Geoglyphs. Nothing about the hulking dirt mound seem impressive at first, not until our troops explore the adjacent desert hills do they return with the news. At a distance, these primitive ruins comprise of massive patterns, designs, and zoological images, made to be seen from great height. Who knows what riches lie beneath the mounds, but to dig would destroy their beauty. We're going to destroy that beauty. Okay, I'm going to have you harvest the gems. I think the Numidian or the Carthaginians must be to the west, so we probably saw them with this one. Oh, there's another light site. Feed them and learn their skill. So I'd get a tech for feeding them. And I'm definitely on board with going for that. Movement bonus along neutral rivers. Scouts can move on water. It's less important, but I'm more interested in the other one, which is epics. Or if I don't, I can take the second one, which is can't afford to waste food on strangers. Now we can afford to waste food on strangers. We'll buy 100 food and we'll spend 140. Get that tech. That scored us effectively a free tech. And in fact, actually skipped. It was one that we were unable to do previously. So I can now really procrastinate on getting administration because we've got the one after administration. Yeah, I think eventually we're going to be killing a lot of units, so the culture per unit killed will not be bad. I don't have enough to pick up a law now, so the law will have to wait. Yeah, this place is definitely got olives in here. Not sure, olives and trees. Not sure how useful that's going to be early on, but... I think I'm going to have you... I'd have to buy more food for that. Hold off a moment. Probably get the second settler training there, so we can get you on a little bit of military to start. Forming a nation. As the laws of the court are read out to the people, the court themselves are engaged in celebration and merriment. One of the court scholars rises to give a speech. Civilization is not a static being, but a dynamic entity built on the decisions of the people within. The laws of Kush have taken their first shape, painting a picture of a future. Praise the Queen. As you reflect on your path, ambitions swell from within. What shape do you wish for the fledgling nation? Control 6 farms. Discover 6 technologies. This is Discover, so sadly the one we just got for free does not count towards this. Or we will train our soldiers to stand above all others. Or I can just delay the question and get 20 XP. I'm maybe not going to do a lot of farms early on here. Probably a toss-up between these two. I'll go with promote units 5 times. That's going to lead generally into fighting. We are going to want to deal with the barbarians and or have some sort of response to deal with the ones we can negotiate with. So that's going to go on. Okay. You want per adjacent, so it's trying to convince me to build a shrine. You want adjacent farms, you want adjacent pastures. You really don't care where you are, but if I'm going to place infantry, I want to place infantry on you. And then you want it to be adjacent to wonders. I don't know why it's saying build that there. Actually, I suspect it because it's like, oh, then you get the gems. Fair enough, but we're doing that with the miner. So I'm less down for that. On the other hand, I am pretty sure I probably do need some farms. Like, I don't want to go heavy on farms. I want some farms. We do get a farming bonus by being on the river. Let's come down onto the river, and we'll build the farm, which is going to cost some extra orders to clear the shrubland here, but that basically means this is wood-free. We get 20 wood clearing the shrublands. The farm costs 20 wood, and it will produce extra food for being on the freshwater river. So that's why we're getting 6 instead of 5. Okay. More barbarians. Okay, looking at 2 barbarians, we probably want to clear fairly early on. Fairly woody, mountainous start. Okay, I'm gonna have you go get that mine. Have you work back towards friendly territory? Heal or keep exploring? Let's have you start working back towards friendly territories you can heal. Big marsh. Eye of Fate. The Danes contact an emissary of the Danish people sprinting you at court. The greetings from the king. And a small gift of intricately carved stone dice. Accept the gift with thanks. So acquire bone dice. Reject the gift. So I get a little bit of legitimacy, but we become estranged from them. Or send back the emissary's head. Legitimacy is tempting, but I do not need more wars right now. I am willing to become estranged with them, though, so we will reject the gift. I do not need a random pair of dice. Okay, we've discovered iron working. Got the worker down here, which I'd like to get onto the quarries. Let's look at our tech choices. So, we got drama, military drill, and aristocracy. We're going to pass on drama for the moment, as much as it would be tempting to start the music. I want to go to aristocracy specifically to get the pyramids here for the legitimacy. Otherwise, we'd be working up into barracks to go towards steel. But yeah, we've got a good source of stone. I want those order. I want the legitimacy so I can get those orders. We're going aristocracy out of those choices. And then yeah, I think we will splurge to buy the cellar. Okay, let's have you slip back inside our own territory to start healing. Found it on the Danes settlement. Okay. So usually you've got 4 sort of native expands in this game. So you've got 2 that will, on strong difficulty, be empty, 2 that will be filled with generic barbarians. So that's sort of the native expands we're looking at. The rest are most likely going to be filled with diplomacyable miners that you can do diplomacy with. So the Danes are probably going to be one of our major neighbors early on here. Okay, so that miner is done. One of my shrines was bonuses for being next to farms, right? Yeah, you have adjacency from farms. Let's put you in the bend there. Also provides 0.7 orders, so I think a good start. You want to heal. City here needs new things to build. I think we want 2, because we've already got a slinger. I think I want 2 melees to go with the slinger out. Let's work on a warrior. I might build the other warrior in the other city. Think about it. I've also got a surplus of training. We do have this ambition to get 5 promotions. Let's actually spend some of that training to get one of these promotions. Yours distance modifier leads to marksman. Yeah, let's go that way. And then it gets progressively more expensive. You can only do 1 a turn anyway. One a turn per unit. But yeah, it gets progressively more expensive. Did not get marksman as our second choice here. Probably go combat. Maybe fierce. Okay. For once, I've actually got surplus orders, which is fine. We're going to need more orders as the warriors come out, because we're going to try to invade the closest barbarian. And to be fair, we'll get that settler done in 7. Okay, so you're healed. The workers are all busy. Okay, all the workers are busy. So I've got 9 orders, and actually, arguably means I don't have enough orders. If my goal is just to have these guys move around. Or I have too many orders. Phrase that better. So we can come over here, I can harvest the lavender. I've got 4 orders with you. Probably want the food recently, so let's go harvest the game. Go. We are technically positive and everything for the most, so that's actually good to see. Paganism founded. Developing culture in Meron. Treasury overload with gold cities leaders call for immediate funding of key projects. What should they do with these excess funds? Save the gold for later, spend it on swift couriers, or give it to our most talented scholars? Let's come back to this decision, because I may want the orders. If I don't, I'm going to go with the science here. The game's like, you're rich enough to build the lighthouse. Like, I am. And I might actually want to build a lighthouse. Minus 10 upgrade seasons for hamlets is very useful. Now that I'm looking at that, that's one of the useful ones, yes. What would I be doing otherwise? I'd probably be building farms otherwise. I might still be building farms. I do want to get one over there to work on the gems. Because money is money. You're an easy ask. You're going there, work on a quarry. And then probably when you've done that quarry, you're coming over here, working on a quarry, and then there, and working on a quarry. I have desires for things that cost stone, so quarries will be happening. Of the wonders, because it's implying I should probably build a wonder. Of the wonders, what are my choices? I can afford Tier 1 and Tier 2 wonders. Pyramids require dry. I don't actually have any appropriately dry territory for the pyramids. Start log cost reduction is also pretty nice. Would actually be nice to do. But yeah, they don't have any adequately dry places. Oracle. Money per season per religion. Hand size. Free agent network on all the holy cities. Okay, probably pass on that. Not that that's bad, but it's not what I'm worried about. Not what I'm interested in. Hagen Gardens. Gotta be on a river, that's easy enough to do. Plus 20% growth. Tempting. Jirwan Aqueduct, source of fresh water, free farm adjacent farms. Free farm and adjacent farms is tempting. I would have to build a bunch of farms. Oh, also has to be adjacent to peaks. So that makes it a little less useful. The places I want to build my farms are not adjacent to peaks. And this city is also a bit far away from them, so yeah. Necropolis. Culture specialist, also more civics per pagan religion. That's only going to be 3, because I'm only really going to have 1 pagan religion. Okay. Lighthouse. That's the one it's recommending right there. And I can see why. Minus 10 upgrade season for hamlets is nice. So that really comes down to, do I think the other AIs are going to try to take it from me? Because if I don't think they're going to try to take it from me, I should probably procrastinate a little bit longer on that, because I don't need the nets. You're going to be adjacent to city center. Again, easy to do. Connected foreign cities give science. Interesting. We are coastal, so any foreign city that has connection to the sea would be connected to us. I can't afford that one. So that would have to be passed on because we can't afford it. At a temple or a world religion present in the city. We don't have any world religion, so that's got to be passed on. Okay. So the only one that's realistic to build right now is the lighthouse. On the other hand, I think I'm going to pass because I want the civics for a law. But yeah, probably on the lookout. We're looking out for the lighthouse, looking out for having the resources to build the library. If I get some dry land, the pyramids just for the law cost is also pretty nice. I probably won't be able to make it to the pyramids. Someone will also probably beat me to the pyramids. And yeah, I'll have you start moving out towards mine. you go there. Cut the shrub. We'll just leave it cut, and then we'll go there, cut the trees. I'm actually going to go ahead and clear the forest here and turn it into a farm. Okay, so I think I can make do without those orders for the moment. Let's go with the science. Yeah, I probably could have made do without that culture and use the other use all the move, but that's fine. And then we end the turn. Oh, I should have spent on my law. So, laws. That's the timeline, that's not what I'm looking for. Laws. So we got a choice between epics and exploration. One of our factions actually wants exploration. I was going to go epics. But one of our factions wants it. We'll agree with the faction. We'll give the faction what it wants. And then we would like you to get to the mine. Let's just move you to the mine. He's probably going to get swung at, because he's probably still too close to the barbarians. And then we'll be able to come running down this river, because we've got exploration. Okay. Warrior in 2, solo in 4. Gotta decide if I want to grab a second warrior from the capital, or grab one from them. Do you care about having the most troops? No, the other militant of the family. I think it's the might actually be the warriors. The warriors or the riders. One of the training-based families wants to have the most military units. Is one of their preferences. We'd have a negative if this was that family. Yeah, probably just build out of the capital because it'll be ready sooner. Well, I was actually left unmolested, which I do appreciate when the barbarians do not try to murder my scout. Goats. Okay, so we've found the Carthaginians. Closest Carthaginian location. Okay. Adding a general is training. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a general to our slingers here. Sure, we'll put ourselves in charge of the slinger here. That leaves us with one order, which is fine. Till the earth. Despite his noble position, the king has always enjoyed gardening and growing food for the royal family. Now he asks for a space of his own to tend. Give him some money and he gets bonuses to farming. Which, if we're going to make him governor of a city, which we might do, we might want to make him the governor of the capital, would mean we'd get more food. Or I can just piss him off. I got enough money. Yeah, I think I'd have you work on sort of getting our good adjacency here on the shrine, which is just more farms. Or maybe I should actually... We might take a detour on the next one and grab the garrison for the half order. You're saying I should put the pyramids there. That would cost me stone, although we have about half the stone, so we wouldn't be buying that much. That would lower the cost of that. Actually, I'm on board with it. That makes sense. That makes reasonable sense. Sure. Grab the pyramids for him. I've got the money. That'll tie that guy up. That person was mainly going to be working on for the next two anyway, making more stone. And still want him to probably work on the stone afterwards, but okay. So the capital. I am going to work on a second warrior, so that'll be done in 5. March you there, and I'm going to add a general to you. So you've got 2 that provide bonuses of the same unit adjacent. We're going to have 2 warriors, so we're going to stack those bonuses. Alright, so one's the king consort. So eventually I might want to take the king consort off of the warrior once we've done our fighting. Okay. Carthage is now ward the Numidians. Okay. I can become the pagan religion. We might as well become the pagan religion. Room for one more. Your husband is both loving and politically astute. When an offer for marriage arrives from the Numidians, he immediately responds favorably to the idea, encouraging or assuaging any misgivings you may have had about the arrangement. This is an important opportunity may well ensure your long-term success. So I lose legitimacy because we'd be marrying into a tribe. We'd get a second relative, which would provide us various bonuses. And we get a big opinion boost for the Numidians. Or I can say no and get XP. I'm actually tempted to say no here. And the reason is because we know the Carthaginians are at war with the Numidians. The Carthaginians are going to be busy. And the proverbial husband here is okay. So I don't really care about the counselor we'd be effectively getting. And we don't need to be married to more than one people right now. Woodcutting tribe. Thracians! Get wood, cut them down, or if I was Sylvan, get a bunch of culture. Fine wood could really spruce up the location. Which can say tremendous and take the wood. Harvest the ore. Scouts report seeing a hulking animal amidst the ore, sending one of their number to investigate. The further scouts further returned back claimed to have seen a hunting griffin. A giant lion with the head of an eagle. Let the legend sleep, take a few extra orders. See, we know they're at war with the Numidians. That may both mean the Numidians are not long for this world, and that I may want to at some point come and take territory from the Numidians. But so after we're done with the barbarians here, if the Numidians here are still in existence, we may want to help them along. Warrior in 4. More importantly, a settler in 1. And in 2, we get aristocracy, so we can start running for more orders by building up our legitimacy with the pyramids. So I can go there, which would give us that marble, or there. Which actually arguably gives me less territory. The biggest difference is the stone, the quarry would be in this one's control rather than that one's control. Although... I think I still want it in that one's control, so I think I'm actually going to go for the farther step. Doesn't change much. Oh, it does change, but it's going to cost me an extra order, I suppose. Either way, we're going to go there, because that's this turn. You need something to do. So I don't necessarily want... Well, unless I'm going to go very heavily pagan, I don't necessarily want to spam on all these shrines right away. Unless I got a really good place for them. So pastures, we don't have a pasture. You don't actually care about what you're adjacent to, you're just providing a training bonus. And you want to be next to Wonders. I probably actually want to put you down next to him. Down next to the pyramids. That seems reasonable, yes. I suppose for the moment we're actually down in the urban area where I really want to be building. Let's do a move. Cut some trees for wood. Move, cut the trees for wood. Move, cut the trees for wood. And then I want you to grab... Yeah, that stone cutter. For the expand. And that's our one and only citizen. We'll reevaluate when that's done. I think the answer will be like a militia or a warrior, depending on the availability of resources to defend from seaborne raiders. Which scout? I suppose this scout's going to provide me more useful information, so we have you, scout. Okay, so we've seen... I think this is probably the same coastline. Lots of pearls, although I got to take it from the Thracians to get used to, and get access to that. Discovered aristocracy. Okay. Numidian families. Open the gates, get a slum and a citizen, or close the gates, piss the Numidians off. Put that aside for the moment. Why does it seem like that territory is marked as mine? Yeah, the Numidians are having fighting. They haven't lost anything yet. Yeah, I'm leaning towards there. Apparently because that territory is now mine. Somehow that territory got claimed as mine. Okay. It's a little awkward because I wanted into the city, but okay. Well, if that territory is mine, then there's no argument to not go there. I get a little bit more forest if I go there then. Actually, I suppose actually that would be the argument to go there, is I get a little more forest. Gets me closer to that mountain where I'm going to build quarries. Sure, go there instead. So, we already have the hunters, we already have the artisans, so it's a toss-up between the traders and their bonus to nets, and the lanners and their bonus to farms. Neither of which really applies to the city. But probably want one, pick between one of those two. Being able to buy tiles with money is tempting, but just getting traders so I can have easier access to trade, I think, is what it does. So we get money per specialist, which actually makes a lot of sense. We're going to probably be using specialists quite a bit to improve wood and stone here. And family seat unlocks caravan access, so we can send caravans off from the city. Yeah, which is effectively trading with the neighbors. So yeah, I think we're going traders. The Numidia arrives to strut about the court, condemning the audacity of settling the location, which is known to all as Numidian lands. Does not seem inclined to leave without something. So I get a tribal raid incoming, or off to retroactively purchase the land rights. Retroactively purchase the land rights because I don't need to unplanned raid. There, place it for me. No, I'll choose the placement myself. What is specifically what is it? Okay, so I get a little bit of money, and I'm able to get elders shopkeeps. Bonuses for harbors. So arguably don't actually want this anywhere on the city. I think it's an urban tile. I think it's an urban tile. I'll put it here. As the Carthaginian-Numidian War escalates, the gates have become... Oh, this is the open the gates one. I'll suffer having a slum. The extra citizen would not be terrible. And this, again, also probably wants to be vaguely along the coastline for territorial expansion. When did I get this whole chunk out here? I'm apparently getting lots of claimed lands that I wasn't expecting. Oops, no. Don't do that. It's not stopping me from expanding those lands, just I'm randomly getting chunks that are claimed, which is interesting. Where is that coming from? I'm very confused why I'm getting projected power into territory that doesn't actually control the cities. Probably will go military drill here. Again, working up to steel for the melee troop. Oh, it's showing what the effects of border boost would be. So if I pushed border boost, all cities get +6 border tiles. Which tiles would I get? That's what it's showing me. That's what's confusing me here. I haven't had border boost in a long time come up as a card when I actually cared anything about it. As a side effect, I'm not interested in the border boost, so we're going to pass on that. So yeah, sovereignty, metaphysics, or military drill. Military drill works towards one of the texts we're working towards. In particular, works towards steel with the axeman. So we go military drill. If I get the steel, I'll probably stop focusing on moving towards phalanx. And then it'll be forestry, and I'll probably actually work towards navigation for serfdom from the extra orders. And yeah, there goes away the negative effect. Explains my confusion. Or the AoE. Okay, I'm gonna have you build the Kushite pyramids. I'm gonna buy the stone. Get that going quicker. Then I'll have you actually go there and build the garrison. Okay, buy the stone, get that going. And I don't need the city garrisoned. It's maybe we'll be moving off without the third unit. Or I can wait 2 turns. Now the city wants to work on a... Well, we probably want to work her. Caravans is tempting. Yeah, we go worker first. Or do I go worker first? I'm not going to do anything with the forests. Because I don't have the tech for that yet. I can't do anything in the shrubland because well, I could chop the shrubland down. So right now I could do a couple mines, and that would be about it. So actually, no, I'm not going to do workers first. Could do elder shopkeep for a bunch of money, but I don't need the money that bad right now. So yeah, I think I actually go caravan here. Put the caravan up. At least until we get lumber going. We'll do exploration with scouts instead of moving the troops forward too much. It is maybe nice to be able to see what's going on in this conflict, to see how that's progressing. See how soon I will have a Carthaginian neighbor. Gems harvested. Our scouts report finding an abandoned gem mine. There's a number of loose gems which can be easily taken, but there's also a much larger gem further atop some kind of altar. Scouts report an ominous feeling emanating from the larger gem and refuse to touch it without direct orders. Small gems will do, or run the risk of becoming cursed, cruel, or greedy. I don't need the negative traits. We'll take the lesser amount. I will be with this character for a while. It may be a good idea to keep the character in less cursed state. I'm going to be reminded I can grab an ambassador for negotiating peace. What are my options? What are my options? The king, I know I want to attach to the warrior. So that right now means the diplomat. The diplomat gets the job. He's got the job right in his name, right? He's the diplomat. I say jokingly. And I suppose I should try to do some diplomacy with the Carthaginians. I'm probably going to be neighbors with them soon, either because they're going to take over the Numidians, or I'm going to take over the Numidians. Oh, I don't have enough civics. Never mind. We're not doing that sort of diplomacy because I spent it all on getting the leader applied. Fair enough. Use some training to improve my 2 units. Move towards getting our goal. Sure. Go focus. And generic combat here. Political prisoner. Askum contacted. My scouts have encountered a party of Askum soldiers whipping a man bound by his wrists and his ankles. The warriors accuse the man of inciting rebellion, of stalking members of the royal family, and attempting to infiltrate the treasury. However, the victim insists he is innocent of the crimes. So I can follow the advice and move along. 25% chance to become cruel, but we gain opinion boost with the estimates. Or we can convince them to release them, because we are regal, or thoughtful, but we're regal. In which case we'd hold the Queen of Askum would hold a favor from us. We'd basically be paying a favor for that. And we get a court minister. An orator. Would be scarred from being, whipped. I'm actually... Oh, so I can either... Yeah, I can either make Askum like us, make him like us, and have Askum have a favor on us. We'll take the favor option here. Apparently, we've run into an Askum settler. Interesting. Yeah, I think that Numidian settlement's going away. I've just got the achievement, Ask Kush, build a Kushite pyramid. So my first pyramid must be... Oh, actually, that was the Yeah, build a Kushite pyramid. Build my first Kushite pyramids of the Kushites. Okay. Oh, I'm getting confused because you are the warrior. There we go. Have you march over there. Again, I want to add a general, except I can't add a general because I don't have enough training. I will next turn. So we can start a light march towards them on the next turn. Because I'm going to keep you, I think, in the city limits to build assign a general. Okay. Now, as far as claiming territory, if I grab you, that claims those 2 resources. So let's get a miner on that gem mine going. Oh, I got them, although I don't have the... No, it's not loaded. It's up here in the top couple of limits. It's like, hey, you can put this here, you can put this here. I'm like, none of these, I want to put it here, to be fair. Probably go with another farm. Yeah, because I don't need you up there for like 4 turns. So go over there, build a farm. Could build a mine there. Not yet ready for lumberjacking. Yeah, let's have you start working on mines. Working your way north by building mines. Okay, so that's where that settler was going. So yeah, too late to take anything involving those earls anyway, because they got grabbed by Oskum. And then, before I continue ending turns and running the part ever longer, we're up over an hour. It is time for a part break. I think we sit on the eve of going to campaigning against the 2 barbarians. So we've got our 3 guys together. We're gonna go kick this barbarian, take their stuff. Once they're dealt with, we'll then probably go run it and do the other one. I'm not sure if I want to... I suppose I could do a settler here, or I could do a settler here. Even go for a settler here. One of the cities is going to have to do... I think the settlers get more expensive in in number of turns. So you're 8 turns. Everyone you build. You're 9. Yeah, that makes sense. So they do get like a little more expensive. And you're 8, but we're also faster building here. We got 12 instead of 8. I'll probably build one here. Probably build one here. To get both of these. When I take the site... Oh, I should have the scout wander over, because I can keep people from taking the site by having a scout sitting on top of it as well. But yeah, that's going to basically be the plan, is we're going to clear out these 2 barbarian minor sites. Sort of the natural 3 and 4 for us. Because yeah, we're not going to be there in time to stop them from taking the Numidians. They're going to take the Numidians, that's going to be their site. I might, if I time it right, might be in position to stop them from doing stuff for the Danes, but that's a little bit too far in the future to be discussing right now. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. This is the first of the 3 breaks during the stream, so it should be a short break where I'm going to get the ads out of the way, and then I'll take a quick stretch and sip a tea before we get back to recording. So until next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.